Hi everybody, welcome back. Always a pleasure to be here with you sharing the yoga practice. Get ready to do some yoga, unroll your mat, grab some props if you'd like to use them. I'll give you a couple seconds and I'll meet you right back here. All right, let's get started first in Trichonasana today. Extending out your left leg first. Bring your right foot to the inside of the left leg. Feel free, if the legs are not 100% on board yet, you can always roll up a blanket or something behind your left knee to soften yourself into the stretch. One option as you lengthen forward is to either let your hands rest on the leg, or if you can easily do so, just grab onto your foot. If you'd like to use a strap, you're welcome to do that as well to make contact. Lots of different options. As we get set up here, let yourself nice and easy lengthen in. So don't worry so much about the end goal of grabbing your foot. Take some time to deepen the breath. Allow yourself to settle in and open as the breath deepens. You may even notice as you slow down the breath that things start to soften. So I encourage you to stay in tune with that. Maybe even firing up a gentle ujjayi breath if you'd like, which helps to heat up the body a little bit more from the inside out. All right, this time of year in the autumn season, we look for practices that are grounding, practices that are warming, and practices that in particular are comforting. And give yourself one more full breath here. As you release, walk the hands in. As you lift to an upright position, we'll switch the sides, extending out your right leg. Fold your left foot in against the inner right thigh. Same thing, if the right knee needs to bend a little, or if you want to roll up a blanket, feel free. Use a strap, a belt, or just ease with the hands on the legs as you reach for the foot. Completely up to you, modifying, of course, today as you see fit. All right, so continuing with this theme of grounding, of softening into the stretch, warming up. All right, we're very much kicking up these themes of grounding as we embark on the autumn season. But the reason why we seek these things out is because, well, first of all, when we approach fall, and you may notice this, we look for routines. Routines are comforting, right? And we tend to get back to our usual lives, like once summer is done and outdoor activities are mostly done and vacations are over, right? We just get back to the routine of work and other projects, right? And those are things that help us feel connected, right? They're reliable, they're grounding, they're balancing. Let's take another full breath right here. Walk your hands in again, returning all the way upright. Let's bend at both knees. Bring the feet in. Come on to hands and knees. Let's tuck the toes. Line up your knees under the hips. Let's go for a nice toe stretch here. Walk your hands back toward your knees. And maybe you're here today. Right? Maybe this is a deep enough stretch for the feet, for the knees, or maybe you'd like to go for it. Bring your hands onto your thighs, sit up, manage nice easy breaths, right? Toe stretch not only wakes up the feet, but it is a yin yoga stretch. So we're getting deeper into the toe joints, right? The feet, the ankles, not to mention the knees, obviously. Let's give ourselves another deep breath or two. And we'll come back onto hands and knees. Feel free to shake out your feet a little bit. That is my cat in the background with a toy. Life with cats, am I right? Okay. Let's untuck the toes, and this time settle into a brief child's pose. So separate the knees almost as wide as the edges of your mat. Bring your toes together. Soften the hips to the heels. You can reach your arms straight forward or back on the mat. And let's take another deep breath or two. All right, child's pose, wonderful grounding stretch. Let's come up onto hands and knees. Once again, fold the knees in under the hips. Spread the fingers wide. Let's down dog the hips up and back. Feel free to walk out your feet in the first down dog of the day. And just stretch out the legs, warming up the rest of the body. With a big inhale, lift the heels up. With a big exhale, sink the heels down. Let's roll forward to plank pose, lining up the shoulders right over the wrist. And with little readjusting between the hands and the feet, let's bring it back to downward facing dog. Put a little bend in the knees. Let's look forward through the hands. Step or float the feet to the front of the mat. Folding over the legs when you get there, the feet slightly separating, round down and let your hands, fingertips drape toward the mat and maybe sway a little side to side, letting yourself feel nice and heavy if you're swaying. Let's take another full breath. And lift the chest, let your fingertips settle to the mat, head up, bring your hands to the waist, and with a flat back, press up slow to stand. Coming all the way up, keep the hands on the waist. We'll set up first with Virasana tree pose. Great way to get grounded, get balanced by standing on one leg. Shift your weight to the right leg and turn the left toes out. Finding your drishti past the nose, step the left foot inside the right leg, either above or below the knee. Let your tailbone lengthen down. Bring the prayer to the heart. Soften the space between the eyebrows. Keep the breath nice and even, nice and steady. Then with your next inhale, lift the arms, separate the hands. As the arms lift up nice and strong, let your shoulder blades drop down behind you. Taking another deep breath or two. And listen carefully. Bring the prayer to the heart. Point your left knee forward. Interlace all 10 fingers and hold the outside, the front side of your left knee. Still standing nice and tall, press down through the right leg. Lift your left knee up toward the chest. But feel the shoulders relax away from the ears. Just giving yourself a standing hip flexor release. Lengthen the tailbone toward the mat and take one more breath. Let go of the left leg, release the arms by your side, standing tall. Return the hands to the waist, shift your weight to the left leg, lift the right knee as you turn the right foot out. The right foot steps inside the left leg, either above or below the knee. Maintaining your gaze on your drishti, that's one single point of focus, helping you balance, and continue pressing down, stand tall, prayer to the heart. Lengthen the tailbone down, lift the arms, separate the hands. Keep the arms strong. Relax the shoulders down. Let the breath move. Nice, steady balance. One more breath. Bring the prayer first to the heart. Keep the right leg lifting, point the right knee forward, interlace the fingers, grab the front of the right knee as you continue pressing through the left leg, stand tall, lift your right knee up into your chest, lengthen the tailbone down. And let's take another full breath. Release your right leg, lower the arms by your side, standing nice and tall. Big inhale, sweep the arms around, Urdhva Hastasana, lift. Exhale, dive over the legs, soften the knees if you need. Lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, step it back. You can jump it back if you choose. We're meeting in down dog. If you're moving through your flow, you can plank to chaturanga or drop the knees. Cobra or up dog for your open heart, backward bend, and we'll meet in down dog. Feel free, of course, to rest in child's pose if you prefer. Keep the breath nice and strong. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. From your downward facing, look forward through the hands, step or hop your feet to the front of the mat. Lift the chest on the inhale. Exhale, round down. Step your feet together. Let's set up chair pose. Utkatasana, bend the knees deep, lift the arms high. Bring the prayer again to the heart. Shift your weight to the right leg, setting up standing figure 4. Bring your left ankle above the right knee. If you have space to do so, maybe sit a little deeper, letting your forearms rest on the top shin. Keep gazing past the nose. Let's take one more deep breath. Stepping into warrior 2, take your time. As you lift the chest, the left leg releases back. The toes, the heel down, let both arms reach out. Look over the right middle finger. Reaching the arms out equally from the center of the chest, expanding out to the sides. One more deep breath. Let's reverse the warrior, sweep the right arm high. Lengthen the tailbone. Keep the front knee pointing forward. Press down through the legs. Lift as you arch back. One more breath. Straightening out the front leg, Triconasana Triangle pose. Reach the right arm out, turn the arms, lower the right hand, lift the left. Another great way to get balanced even though we are still on 2 feet. Right, the legs are pressing one way, our gaze is lifting the other. One more breath. Wrap your left arm around the lower back. Look down at your front foot just briefly as we transition into Artichandrasana half moon pose. Put a little bend in the front knee and reach the right hand out. Use a block if you like and lift the left leg. If you prefer to lift the left arm up, feel free to go for it. Option, of course, if you'd like to reach and lift. Once you get yourself set up, that's when you shift your gaze to the side, to the left, and maybe look up toward the sky, past the left shoulder. Give yourself another deep breath or two. Standing split pose, lower the left hand. Maybe take your right hand to the right foot as your forehead softens to the front shin. Let's hold for another full breath or two. Low lunge, hands down, touch your left toes back on the mat. Straighten the front leg. Feel free to put blocks under the hands if you like as your back heel spins down at a 45-degree angle, Virasana. Lengthen, fold. Let's take another full breath. And bending up at the right knee, let's step it back to downward facing dog. Feel free to hold it here. Feel free to flow through. Let's take another deep breath or two. And from your down dog, look forward, walk or hop the feet lightly to the front. Lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, round it down. Feet back together. Chair pose, Utkatasana, lift the arms. Bring the prayer to the heart. This time shifting your weight to the left leg, standing figure 4, right ankle above the left knee. And of course, if there's room to reasonably do so, sit a little deeper, maybe resting your forearms on the top leg. Give yourself another deep breath or so. Warrior 2, right leg, reach it back, toes down, heel down, come up, arms out nice and strong. So the chest stays lifted, the tailbone lengthens down, and your gaze is past the left middle finger. Finding center, with the shoulders over the hips and a nice straight spine from the crown of the head all the way through the tailbone. So we're neither leading forward nor leading back. Take another deep breath or two. Reversing the warrior, sweep the left arm over, relax the right arm back behind you. Keep your left knee pointing forward. Legs are strong. Maybe looking up toward that nice warm sun for another deep breath. Straighten the front leg, adding Triconasana Triangle. Left arm, reach it out, turn the arms, lower the left arm, lift the right. Wrapping the right arm around the lower back as we set up half moon, Artichandrasana, peek down at the front foot. Soften the left knee, reach the left arm out, use a block if you like under the hand, lift the right leg high. Come up, lift, right? Putting down the roots, stabilize yourself first, and then when you are stable, start peeking toward the right. Maybe peek up at the sky past the right shoulder. And of course, if you wish to release your right arm up to the sky, feel free. Take your time. One more breath. Standing split pose, we're lowering the right hand. Maybe take your left hand to the left foot as your forehead softens to the left shin for a breath. And step back to low lunge, right toes on the mat, hands down, straighten out both legs, turn the back heel at a 45-degree angle, Virasana, lengthen over the left leg. Level the hips if you can. Right, and our gaze, as we're looking down, we're looking toward the ground, toward the earth. Right, once again, making that connection. Right, embracing our getting grounded. Take another full breath. Rebending up at the left knee, let's meet in down dog, press back. Feel free to hold, feel free to flow through. And from your down dog, put a little bend in the knees, listen carefully, walk your hands to your feet. Fold over both legs, back of the mat. Keep your feet hip width distance. Let's add some Utkatasana. Grab the big toes in Yogi Toe Lock. Lift the chest on the inhale. And exhale, round down. 3 to 5 deep breaths right here. One more deep breath. Inhaling, lift the chest. Exhaling, releasing out your toes. Walk your hands out just a little bit. Come onto your hands and knees. So lower the knees down, untuck your toes, have a seat on your heels, coming into Virasana, hero pose. Now, if you need to, you can always take a block between the feet. You can fold just a thinly folded blanket behind your knees to take pressure off the joints if that needs to happen. And if you're otherwise good to go, stay where you are, right? And maybe this is as deep as you go today. If you wish to work this a little bit deeper into the back bend, you can, keeping your knees reasonably close together, separate your feet so the knees more easily kind of lean in together. And maybe this is as deep as you go. Maybe walk your hands back. And maybe if there's room to do so, bring one elbow at a time onto the mat. Let's see if we can do this today. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So I will not be going deeper than this today, but feel free, if you have room to do so, to lower all the way down onto your back and let the head drop back on the mat. And if you're leaning back all the way on the back, right, it will be your upper back, the shoulders, upper shoulders on the mat. Maybe extend the arms overhead, reaching your hands to opposite elbows. Let's take one more full breath. And coming out as easily as we got in, one elbow at a time, one hand at a time. Come up, breathe, breathe. Easy, coming off your heels. Bring the feet, the legs around front as we set up Hashimotanasana, seated forward fold. And of course, you're welcome to roll up a blanket behind the knees, maybe shimmy the legs, the feet, maybe shimmy the hips a little forward. And maybe just enjoy that fresh blood feeling coursing through the legs. Okay, sit tall. Walk your hands out and reach for your feet. Feel free to grab a strap or belt if you need. Lengthen, keep the breath strong. All 10 toes point up toward the sky. Right, feeling that nice, even sensation through the sit bones, through the legs. Right, and again, embracing that sense of being grounded. One more full breath. And walk your hands back in as you return upright, bend up at the knees, roll back slightly off the tailbone, Navasana, lift the legs. You can hold here or you can bend or straighten the legs rather, lifting your feet all the way up toward the sky. Nice and balanced. Keep the breath fired up. Gaze toward the toes, right? Which again is an upward gaze toward the sky, embracing the heat. Let's give it another deep breath. Put a bend in the knees, roll onto your backs, hug the knees in, and let's rock a little side to side. Maybe grab a happy baby pose if you choose. And while we're here, let's do a little reverse figure 4. Knees bending, feet flat on the mat. Take your right ankle above the left knee. Interlace fingers behind the left leg, maybe on top of the left leg below the knee, if that feels good to do. Let's take another deep breath or so. And releasing, letting go, switch sides, bring the left ankle above the right knee, interlace fingers behind the right leg or on top of the right leg below your knee. Flex the feet and breathe. One more time. Letting go, release your feet back down on the mat. As we continue winding things down today, feel free to take a shoulder stand, or if you want to work into headstand, feel free. But an inversion really good to do this time of the year because they are balancing, they are grounding, and they do generate heat. So feel free if you'd like to do that or even modify your inversions. Legs up the wall is fine. If you don't want to go upside down, you can take Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees out. Right? Option, of course. Set yourself up, take your time, breathe nice and easy, and lift. And if you're doing shoulder stand, like I am doing Sarvangasana, feel free, once you're set up, keep looking up at the sky, looking up past your feet. All right, do not turn your head here. If you'd like to add Halasana plow pose, you can reach the legs over, keep the head nice and steady. Nice and easy, deep breaths. And let's enjoy one more deep breath upside down. Carefully lower. Take your counter stretch. So if you're in shoulder stand, you'll take fish Matsyasana. If you were in headstand, you will take child's pose, Balasana. I'm using a block for a supported option because that just feels like what I need at the moment. You can do the same, or you can put a bolster on the long side between the shoulder blades, or just do the active variation. Chest up, head back. And let's give it another deep breath or two right here. Releasing slow, and if you're on your back doing the hip opener, you can fold the knees in. Let's all just return onto the back, removing any props, just pushing them off to the side. You can hug the knees in or windshield wiper the knees, or any release that you'd like to take to work out the final kinks. Let yourself settle back into space, extending out the legs. Separate the feet, coming into your Shavasana, your final relaxation. Maybe roll up a blanket or slide a bolster behind the knees to support your Shavasana. And just let yourself sink back into heaviness. Right, settling into the ground, closing the eyes. Let go of your Ujjayi breath and just let the breath return to a more neutral, soft pace of inhales. Soft pace of exhales. And just letting go, embracing these few moments to recover and restore before returning to your day.